Good evening, folks. It's about 11 p.m. and I'm about 26 hours into my 5-day fast. And I wanted to use this video to kind of give you some information about fasting, what makes it difficult, how you can make it easier if you're new to it, some really great resources on why it's good for you. I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff that Dr. Fung and Dr. Berg talks about, and I'll put some of their links in the description so you can go look it up. But I guess I want to talk about what makes fasting hard. The things I do during a modified fast, if I'm just trying to lose weight, there are benefits you get if you don't do my modified fast. And I do both kinds. I'll do the kind I describe, and then I do just the straight water fast with probably some electrolytes. I'll probably do electrolytes even if I'm not doing my modified fast, because it just makes you feel so much better. But when I'm trying to lose weight, I'll let you know the things that I do differently. So first of all, let's talk about why people think fasting is difficult if they've tried it and failed. Well, there's a hormone called ghrelin. And a lot of people say fasting is like working out a muscle. Well, the reason that is ghrelin, it's your hunger hormone. So it sends a signal to your brain that makes you feel hungry. And what they've shown over a prolonged fast, up to 84 hours, each day, the ghrelin hormone, which typically spikes around meals. So you typically get ghrelin spikes around the times you eat meals. So your body is accustomed to eating at a certain time. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you'll get ghrelin spikes, which give you those hunger pangs and make you feel miserable. Well, over time, they say the first 2 days are the worst. Well, that's because your ghrelin is the highest the first 2 days. After the second day, those ghrelin spikes reduce, and the hunger pangs that you get are lesser and lesser. And I'll share a chart over here whenever I edit the video. So let me go into some benefits of fasting. Now, if you follow my modified protocol, you're going to get less of these benefits, but it's really just to make the fast easier, and my main goal is weight loss. I do regular fasts too, but I'm doing this one for weight loss. So one of the biggest benefits is something called autophagy. Autophagy is a process in the body where whenever you're lacking your proteins and your fats, and you're just lacking your nutrients, your body will start cleaning up old damaged cells, and it goes and cleans them up, and then your body will actually generate healthier cells. So if you have like any type of autoimmune diseases or any kind of diseases, it's kind of across the board. All my research shows that if you stop eating, your symptoms will lessen because your body can actually put more energy towards healing yourself instead of digesting your food. Another huge benefit of fasting is HGH production. I'm going to share a Berg video where he has some clinical results of showing over 2,000 HGH increase. And if you don't know what HGH is, it's what all those football players use to get all big. It's a human growth hormone, so it just makes you feel better. You get more mental clarity. There's just too many to mention. I'll put a link in the description. But HGH is kind of like it declines as you get older. It's higher when you're younger, and older people typically don't have very much. So there's just a lot of benefits to it, and I'll put it in the description. And one thing you'll notice from this chart that I'm going to share with you is, look at the resting period. So the pre-fast period, this person's human growth hormone was 0.73, and by fasting day 5, so if I'm doing a 5-day fast, this is just one anecdotal report. His HGH is something around 400 to 500% normal. So yeah, HGH is a huge reason to fast. It's actually kind of interesting, but if you Google OMAD fasting and bodybuilding, you'll find that there's a new fad where bodybuilders are just loving fasting for the HGH benefits. So, and give that a Google. You'll be entertained for a couple hours if you're like me. Another huge benefit is you drop all your inflammation. So you know that stuff that all disease thrives in. All disease thrives in inflammation. There's only certain times that you really want inflammation in your body, Like whenever I fell off a ladder and snapped my ACL, I wanted that inflammation in my leg to kind of help insulate the wound. Typically, inflammation is a bad thing. So yeah, you drop a lot of your inflammation. So it's also kind of funny. A lot of people will tell you about, have you ever heard starvation mode? A lot of people talk about starvation mode. They're like, oh, don't go on a fast. You're gonna ruin your metabolic rate or your resting metabolic rate. Well, it's actually kind of funny because it's the opposite. If you're following a ketogenic diet and you do caloric restriction, you're not going to damage your resting metabolic rate. If you're doing a caloric restricted diet and you're eating carbohydrates, you will, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So if you watch some of these Dr. Fung videos, he goes into this very in-depth. I'm just going to scrape the surface. So insulin is produced whenever you eat carbohydrates. It also is produced if you eat proteins, but a little differently. And that's one of the last things I actually learned about weight loss. And I was sucking down protein shakes like mad. But you want to keep your insulin down because your insulin tells your body to gain weight. Insulin also restricts your body from accessing fat stores. So that's why if you are on a caloric restricted diet and you're eating carbohydrates to spike your insulin, you're gonna damage your resting metabolic rate. Dr. Fung has an amazing video that I want you to go watch. It's about 36 minutes, but he goes into a Biggest Loser contest where they actually did a clinical trial on them, and they showed a super decrease in their resting metabolic rate. And that's why you kind of never see Biggest Loser reunions, because they all gain all their weight back because they damaged their metabolic rate by just exercising a lot and not necessarily eating a ketogenic diet. I did want to add one more note on protein because that is one of the biggest things I was doing wrong for the longest time. Powdered protein, like whey protein, and all, like egg protein, all these proteins you can buy and eat shakes. If you're trying to supplement a meal with a protein shake, you're not doing yourself any favors. Like about a year or two, no, I think about 2 or 3 years ago, I was chugging protein shakes like mad. And I would basically make a 40-ounce protein shake. I would take it to work and I'd sip on it from breakfast until I got home. So I was kind of doing a one meal, but with a protein shake. Well, there's an insulin index outside of the glycemic index. And that means powdered protein, especially whey protein, is literally equivalent to eating white bread. So you don't spike your blood sugars, it doesn't touch the glycemic index, but it does spike your insulin directly. So you want to stay away from the protein powders even when you're not fasting. So let me go into my modified fast. So I'm not going to get all the benefits of autophagy and HGH. There's not many studies on if you're eating high fats or eating very little amounts of fats, but I do this just for quality of life when I'm just trying to lose weight. So when I wake up, I will make myself a pot of coffee and I'll drink about probably 20 to 30 ounces of black coffee, and I'll add fat to it. So there you go, I'm breaking the traditional fast. I like heavy cream. That is probably the worst fat you could put into your coffee. You can go look at Bulletproof Radio and Dave Asper. He talks all about the bad things about actually using dairy. But I've tried all the others. I've kind of gotten tired of putting butter and MCT and coconut oil into my coffee. So I'm a heavy cream guy, so I'll put probably about 100 calories of heavy cream into my coffee, and I'll sit my coffee down and I'll fill it back up, and I'll just keep it kind of creamy until it goes away and my coffee's gone. So I will drink coffee with a fat in it just to make fasting easier. For those of you that don't know, whenever you're on the ketogenic diet, you are actually simulating the same things that you get out of fasting. So whenever you fast, you end up burning all of your glycogen out of your liver. So glycogen is the stored version of carbohydrates. When all the glycogen in your liver is gone, your body has to metabolize something or you'll die. So that's when your body goes into ketosis. Ketosis is when your body is actually converting fat into ketones for you to metabolize. And one thing you'll notice in a fast is you'll get a lot of mental clarity because the blood-brain barrier for ketones is much larger than it is for carbohydrates. So one other thing I will do when I'm fasting is I will take a vitamin mineral supplement. My favorite is Dr. Wallach's Tangy Tangerine. That's the supplement that actually fixed my wife's fertility issues and got rid of her migraines and acne and all kinds of stuff for us. But it's my favorite supplement. It's plant derived. You absorb 90 to 100% of it, unlike chelated or just the actual elemental trace minerals. That would be like eating an eggshell. You're going to absorb like maybe 5 to 10% of eating minerals, which is what you typically get. But when you order the Walmart supplements or the cheap supplements, chelated, you absorb like 50% of it. They wrap it in amino acids to help you absorb it. But plant derived is really what you're trying to aim for if you're gonna take a supplement for your vitamins and minerals. And I will definitely take one while I'm fasting. The last thing that I will do, which is probably the most important, and I probably should have mentioned it first, is whenever you fast and you feel really, really crappy, it's usually because your electrolytes are so low. Electrolytes are the salts in your body. So a lot of people will take table salt or some just maybe Himalayan salt, the pink stuff that has some minerals in it too. But you really want to get an electrolyte supplement. And the one I use is called K1000 is the brand. I'll have it in the description if you want to try it. But it's a keto-friendly electrolyte supplement, and it gives you 1,000 electrolytes. And you really want to shoot for 4,000 to 5,000 to make yourself feel energetic. So if you take electrolytes and you don't take electrolytes, you will feel the difference. It'll turn your fast from, you feel great into you feel kind of sluggish and lethargic. So guys, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I will send videos every day this week, just updating you on my 5-day fast. Traditionally, I don't really have a problem with the first 2 days. Usually around day 4, for some reason, I typically have the most difficulty. My other videos this week on this fast are going to be very short and describe my day. Today I felt pretty bad, but I think that was because I ate sunflower seeds yesterday and it had MSG in it, and I think that kind of threw my body through a loop. That's monosodium glutamate. Which is a flavor enhancer they put in food that makes you eat more food. That's why whenever you eat Chinese food, you're hungry really soon after, because it's that MSG, it's that flavor enhancer. But we threw away those sunflower seeds. I think I'm over the hill on that one. So I hope tomorrow's going to be a better day. Thanks, guys. If you like my content, please leave me a thumbs up or subscribe, and I'll keep pumping out the content. Love you guys. Peace.